Welcome and Om. Tonight's wisdom is clearing and releasing and four dimensions of the mind. So it's a very deep knowledge here. And four dimensions, we are looking at what the four are and working on them. So the first one is how we interact with the world, our experiences through our senses. And many of us really just get so carried away with the senses and so attached to the senses that kind of brings pain in the end. So just to know that the senses are only here for a while, and it's the way you're going to interact with the world. So say how much can you look? So that's the first. How people go on the holiday and just look, or whatever cinema, look. How much can you look? You get tired in the end. Again, how much can you hear? Sometimes put that on, and how much can you hear? So again, you would get tired. It's just noise in the end. Again, how much can you smell? So after a while, whatever perfume you're wearing, you even get fed up of that. Tasting, yes, sometimes we like something so much, and other times we don't. So again, talking. How much can you talk? So all this is just with the interaction, but it's not bringing any permanent happiness in there. How much can we touch again? Yes. So all these senses are just there for I would say little pleasure, but not everlasting pleasure. There's no pleasure in everlasting here. And of course, these senses are connected to the five elements as well. So when we think, like when we're tasting, the saliva is there. So you see little babies, blowing blueberries when they first learn, and they dribble. And you kind of think, yes, you keep changing the bibs, and you think, my God, this is like a one glass of fluid come from the mouth, the water. So yes, these elements are there for a reason. And you cannot taste if this element of water wasn't there. You could not have the comfort in your eyes, the way you blink if it was dehydrated. It'd be so itchy. Again, the fire in the stomach, imagine if that fire wasn't there. So how interlinked everything is, and we have to understand the full works of this body. It is just so interesting, and how the wind touches the skin, and the feeling of all that. So again, we have to go beyond this. So that's the first dimension. Now coming on to the second dimension is the intellect. And some of the people who have really dived deep into this, how that is connected to that. So through the senses, how the intellect kind of plays. So again, this is just like temporary, because it's taking us much deeper to something that is wow in the body. So yes, the creative people um, experience the depth of this intellect through their, say, if it's an artist, he would be the best artist, like Van Gogh. His painting was so outstanding and so different. So we become the masterpieces when we dive deep in and listen to our subconscious mind. And yes, it is an suffering is an invitation to come to this order of creating ourselves. And why not, embrace it and go forward. So from the second, you see how even that is interlocked with memory. So say a baby who has very little memory still has to build many, um, and is not aware. Give a slice of lemon to a baby who's not really had the tasting yet, and suddenly, doesn't know. And when he tastes the lemon, he goes, and then second time you give, the baby knows, oh, this is not what I want. So it can be the other way around as well. A taste of ice cream, and you give it to the baby second time, and it'll go, it wants it. So how memory is there, it is stored through the past experiences. So that's like a third dimension. But this memory should not really come when we are experiencing now. Excuse me about that. Experiencing now. So if you are out in the nature, you don't want to start bringing memory into it. You just want to observe and see things as they are. So yes, we can use the memory for certain things, but not all the time, because otherwise we just forget to see the true, life of how things are, uh, in the unknown. So be in the unknown to see it. And it's so magnificent when you don't bring anything into it and just see it raw as it is. So that's the third dimension, of course, and really becoming more and more aware. And we see that when we drop all this, we come to see how the real reality is. So by gradually dropping even the ID, the identity of who I am and what I am and this and that, dropping all that noise as well and going beyond. So literally we are rising one step after another. So beyond the force, these dimensions, you come to this, which is just sitting there, or I would say just space, which is empty. And there's the highest intelligence here. And you find that um, there is something here which is flowing, which is listening to you, which is, you know, which provides you even, and nothing to worry about because it's already taken care of everything. So beyond these four dimensions is the fifth, that is just without the ID, the unknown space, or known space, nothing, or even when we say nothing, it is yet everything. And that is that pure awareness, the truth, the reality of I am. And may we see and all of them come to this, um, through the transcendence, passing one stage at a time to come to it. Thank you. Namaste.